Okay, so I thought I'd share this with you because it's very easy to be a typical agent and come out of anywhere and just throw some numbers around. So I thought like I said, make a short recording to kind of show you why I think this price is actually quite accurate. So um, the guide price I'm suggesting is between 620,000 to 650,000, and this is mainly because what's been happening in the market locally. I also like to share this with you so you can see exactly what areas I'm talking about. If we go to the screen here, we can have a look at what's happening on Rightmove. Okay, so right, obviously looking quite locally, we draw attention to um, just specifically that location. I've been pretty specific in terms of what we're kind of looking at when we're looking at market data. We look at some other stuff on the back end of Rightmove to produce this sort of final quantitative result, but just trying to go off of what's on Rightmove on the front end and what, of course, the rest of the market sees. This is what they'll be essentially looking at. So I've put a price gap between 620,000 to 800,000. And of course, we're looking at three-bedroom properties. And excluded, of course, detached homes, bungalows, lands, and of course, park homes. And just included these three here. And of course, I've also included properties that have actually been sold in the market. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we want to see what is actually selling, because it's all well and good to see, next door put the property on the market for, a million, 10 million pounds, but what's actually selling? Let's look at the history. So the first thing I'll start off with is obviously this little tab here, and of course it says oldest listing, and we can see that ours within this postcode, and those, of course, those sort of price frames. This is all that is for sale at the moment. And we've seen the property's actually been live since June, and we're obviously, halfway through August at this point. So let's take a little bit of a zoom out, just so again, we can see a little bit of the rest of the market. Again, we're looking at the oldest listings, and we're also looking at properties that have actually been sold. So we see that three-bedroom properties, this agent here, which I believe you're currently advertised with, has sold a property. Not too sure exactly when, but they've sold a property successfully at some point after, as it looks. You can see 2021, so it's quite some time ago. But that sells in and around that time frame. That sells. Obviously, is nothing like your property, but good sort of snapshot. Now at 800,000, which you've marketed your property, well, not yourself, but the agent has marketed your property for. We can have a quick little look and see what you get for £800,000 in about a quarter of a mile. So here we go. Now, what I tend to do evaluations, as opposed to try and throw a bunch of numbers at you and try and make you feel as if to say that I've got all the answers in the world and there's some magic trick behind it. I'm just showing you what the market sees. So for £800,000, the market feels, well, this property has been sold. And let's just have a quick look at the snapshot date, because that's quite an important thing as well. So this was April of this year. That property sold for, it's probably somewhere around that £800,000. So if that sale has gone through, I can find out the exact number. But there we go. For £800,000, this is what buyers in the area are sort of expecting. It's a beautiful property, not too far off of what you have, if you ask me. But I think just the whole setup of it is slightly different, as this isn't a low ground floor property. So that could take quite a bit of could be quite influential to the people's decisions. Okay, £600,000. Again, this property's been on the market since May. It says it's got a guide price between 650,000 to 700,000. That guide, I don't always put say £50,000 in the guide, but there could be a specific reason. Obviously, we know what our motivations are. So they started on the market at 600,000 with it, the expectation to achieve at least around about 700,000 mark. But it just means that there will be negotiation within that time frame, within those prices, if a sale can be achieved. For example, someone could move incredibly fast, but the vendor will always have the option to at least have a conversation about lower prices, or lower offers coming in. And one thing that I maintain in all my years of doing sales is that if a property's worth what it's worth, it will sell, guaranteed. And if anything, it will go above asking price. So you see £650,000. Obviously, again, it's not exactly like your property, but it's sold, so it's sits within the record of what people are expecting to, what people are looking to pay for properties in the area. Okay, so another one from this agent here, which I believe you advertised with. So they've had a property on the market since since May, the 6th of May, and this property is still on the market. So it's been priced at 550,000, which, in my opinion, is a handsome buck to pay for this. But then again, there's a buyer for every property, but not at every price point. So we can see that maybe possibly the tactic that could be employed here is that pricing properties at a certain value will motivate vendors to, of course, sell with them. And no doubt this agent is an experienced agent, so that might have worked many other times in the past. But with the news that we're seeing in the market, which if we just quickly jump into here now, you'll see that it's not too much great stuff. Talking about prices slowing down. Also talking about Rightmove, of course, talking about prices slowing down as well. So it's not boosting buyer confidence, and of course we can see our property here. So in the area, there's not too much going on, which is sometimes a great thing, which means that there isn't much properties for sale. So a lot of people might be looking at that location, but also it could mean that there's not that much demand, So that could be a slight issue as well. It means that if you're not getting enough influx of leads or people looking to buy property in that area, then of course that can slow down, the sale of the property. And usually, I would encourage that this property will need much stronger marketing and advertising. For example, this agent here has used a premium listing. I would definitely put this property on premium listing because I feel like it will need a little bit more exposure than a standard sale. And also a featured listing as well. So with all our properties, or any property that comes on live with us, will receive a featured listing and premium listing as well. So you get, Rightmove have confirmed to us, you get 10 times more exposure using premium and featured boxes. So that's another thing to take into consideration. The pictures and everything else from what I see, what they've done is pretty decent. So it's not. I don't think it's an issue with their, the quality of their digital assets. I think mainly, if you ask me, it boils down to the price. And if we take a jump back into this here, we'll see, okay, look, another property that's been sold in June of this year. Not long after your property is not long after your property is actually instructed. So this property sold incredibly fast. At £700,000, this property was sold probably even slightly more. But if we're expecting to achieve an £800,000 price tag and the property's been on the market since 13th of June, and this property was sold to £700,000, which was a guide price, so possibly went over that. Chances are that that we might be a little bit too overpriced for the market, and we can see exactly what you're getting here for your money if you're willing to pay £700,000 for this, or possibly 750 or something in that region. We go down, so £800,000 again. So in June, shortly after your property was instructed, you can see what they're expecting to get for £800,000. So I would say this is a very, very, very attractive property, and from what I see, it looks like it's a house. So again, what are people expecting to see? What people are expecting to spend £800,000 on? And this is what they're expecting to spend £800,000 on. So and I feel like the agent should know that very, very well. Now, Okay, we have another one here, instructed again back in June. So there's been a lot of activity in June, which is good. It's good to see in terms of instructions to the market, but what's actually sold, it looks like only one property that's priced at a very reasonable price. Of course, guide price means that they're going to go. It's going to start there, so of course going to go above and beyond or wherever. But I'd say that's a very low guide price for this particular property. Not low, but reasonable guide price for what it is. And then okay, we go here, £700,000 again. What are people looking to pay £700,000 on? But this property's also been in the market since June as well. Top floor apartment. I can see why this one might potentially stick. I could 100% see why this one will stick. But hey, it could be a potential good investment for someone. They've got the property listed twice, which is quite strange, if I'm honest. But there must be a reason behind that. Okay, so we've got another one at £600,000 here. Now, I can tell it's pretty small, but at £600,000, this is what you're looking to get again in the market. So the reason why I do these is because I feel like it's very important for buyers to understand the market. And I know you're already in property already as well, as opposed to trying to, just sort of price things and get them just trying to get them sold, because it just doesn't work like that, especially in the market that we're in right now. So I always go for oldest listings, and also go for newest listings as well, just to see what's come onto the market, to see what our quote unquote competition is, and also to see what's selling fast. So this one's just come on the market in August, and look, we've already had this property's already sold. Doesn't necessarily mean that agent is a particular a fantastic agent, but yeah, it would definitely say that it's priced well, and that's what the market is looking for. So yeah, long story short, I'd put a guide price of somewhere between, go back, we'll find it in a moment. I'll put a guide price of something between around sort of 700,000. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.